I'm starting to run out of time. I've got
Yeah.
some things I'm gonna have to jump to. I didn't know if you might want to jump to that teaser yet or not. Or
Yes, let's do it. Let's do it. There's no way we're gonna get through all this
yeah, I'm
stuff.
sorry, guys.
It's okay. I'll address it all. But let's do that teaser.
Okay.
Let's do that teaser. How do you want to do this?
Well, you're the host.
Well, okay.
I believe it's on you.
Listen here, guys. There's a situation that's developing. It's been developing for a while. It's in an adjacent community. We are not really, I don't think, allowed to disclose who yet. We're waiting on one particular triggering event that may happen anytime in the next couple days. Now, here's what I have to do to the chat, and this is I may have to blue ball you. I won't know. It's entirely possible that this triggering event doesn't occur because these people come to their senses. I don't think that's going to happen.
Seems unlikely, but it could.
But it's entirely possible. But let me just let you know that we might have, bafflingly, shockingly, as stupidly as this sounds, another instance of tortious interference in Texas. Which I can't believe at this point that people are still in a community that you will recognize. And guys, it is juicy. So there's a pending whole bunch of discussion for a very similar circumstance that we have now. Okay, that's my job. I don't know if you want to add something to that.
I'll add this. So the principals of a gaming company, tabletop games, role playing, watched your live streams, Nick, and saw me, and they're dealing with a very, very similar situation as Vic and some others, and they've retained our firm, and we're getting ready to go to war. And if this happens, it's going to be a heck of a lot faster. These folks, well, this has been going on a much longer time,
right?
And they tried the whole, typical PR game plan of, trying to let it die down, trying not to prove their innocence, although they could, and all this. And the accuser has just kept it up, kept interfering with their business, and they saw me on your stream and became familiar with the situation with Vic, and they called me up last week and retained us. And so this could be very interesting and fun. It's very much the exact same thing. It's someone who's made an accusation that we can prove with her own text messages that she's lying. And, the client, I don't get to do anything until a certain event happens. But I'm like you, Nick. I think it very unlikely at this point. People put way too much value in that dopamine surge they get from virtue signaling, it seems. But it's going to be a lot of fun. Could be really, really fun.
And guess what, guys? Assuming they do it, I'm going to tell you every single detail. And we're going to talk about every single person involved. Everybody is going to get exposed in this one. And there's that expression, the gloves are off.
Yeah. These guys are nowhere near as gracious and kind as Vic has been. It'll be refreshing in a sense.
Ty, have you seen the movie Kickboxer with Jean-Claude Van Damme?
I have. Good grief. That's like 25, 30 years old, but yeah.
It is. But let's just say not only are the gloves off, but the rope is wrapped around the hands. Yeah. Dipping those hands in glue and dipping them in glass.
Yeah.
And if we get that triggering event, I will be going full in on every.
No, it's exactly the same thing. It's nothing more than an allegation and a brigade of lunatics, and it is every bit as ridiculous as the Jelly Bean story.
Every bit. Yeah.
Now I got to tell you something. I unfortunately have to agree. The Jelly Bean story just barely wins out on most ridiculous, but it is competitive.
Nothing really tops the idea that eating a jelly bean is somehow harassing behavior.
Yeah, that was the discussion today. That's what the team finally concluded. I got carried away. I thought for a moment that this case was actually even more absurd than the jelly bean, but I was brought down by my team and corrected on that. But it's still pretty good.
Well,
I just hope that our friends our friends in the weaponized autist community will help us out on this one too, just like they have on the other. I think this will be something that they'll be interested in.
I think they'll find a very interesting cast of characters here. And guys, I'm going to cover all of it.
Yep.
In full detail. Restraint will be basically non-existent.
I feel obligated to say it is, of course, my fervent hope that the other side will get reasonable and we can resolve this and this never has to go this far. They just haven't been reasonable up to this point, so there's no particular reason to assume that suddenly they're going to get rational now.
Yep.
Yeah. I could be wrong. Hope I am.
We'll see. But I tell you what, you just watch my Twitter, because before a video comes out, the very moment that goes, that announcement goes live, the hand grenade pin is pulled, and it begins. So that'll be very interesting, I think.